Welcome to Chalant, a podcast for people who are just into stuff. I'm your host, Katie Ruby, and this week I am so chalant about the K-pop Demon Hunters. Now, I know I'm weeks behind on this, and your daughter has probably already asked you to dress up as Rumi for Halloween, because I know mine has. But if you haven't gotten out to see K-pop Demon Hunters, you haven't gone to one of the sing-alongs, or you are not a Netflix person, get on Netflix, go watch K-pop Demon Hunters. It's great music. It's a fun movie. There's a good storyline. It's not saccharine and dumb where you're like, the theme is you're perfect the way you are and you never have to change anything. But instead it's like, okay, we're all kind of have some work that we need to do. Let's work on it together and we're going to become better people as we grow. Like that is such a better message, but you could layer it with all sorts of symbolism and all sorts of metaphor that's in there. And the comic relief characters, the tiger and the bird, are fantastic. You will love them. You need to check out K-pop Demon Hunters. But in the meantime, let's say hi to our guest. Reisman. Say hi, Jeremy.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Katie.
Hello. So, Jeremy, friend of internet fame, and anytime that you're visiting the town that I live in, among other things. If people don't know who you are,
yes,
who are you?
My name is Jeremy Reisman. I write a Detroit Lions blog. An NFL reporter, if you will. That's a football thing for those that aren't in the know.
The National Football League.
Nailed it.
Nice.
That's right.
Perfect. And that's all you are. That's it.
That is my only identity.
Oh my gosh.
No.
He was born nowhere, has no parents, has never met anyone.
You're doing this thing where I have to talk about myself. I forgot that's what I'm here for, and I'm not great at it.
You signed on for this. I was like, hey, Jeremy, you want to come talk on my podcast? And he was like, heck yeah. I'll just stare at you while you talk.
That's right. No, I'm what is this like I almost feel like I'm filling out a dating profile. I'm 39 years old. I grew up in a suburb of Detroit, lived out in LA for 9 years and came back to Detroit to kind of do this job. And I played disc golf. That's another thing that I like.
Oh, you play disc golf. I didn't know that about you. This is new information. Okay.
That's what I'm here for.
Other things that Jeremy is not mentioning is that he was the star of the AMC hit Mad Men. I'm not joking.
Is maybe a little bit of a joke. Back in my days when I was living in LA, in between jobs, I did a little bit of background acting. And by a little bit, I mean literally one day of it on the set of Mad Men with my Drew Fro, as I so affectionately call it, although it was much more glorious than it currently is.
Nice.
And I got to play a backstage fan at a Rolling Stones concert, and you can see me in 2 different shots, and it's very exciting.
Expect to happen.
I'll get into that dressing room and I'm gonna stare.
It is. I've looked them up before, guys. It's extremely exciting. I love that you say Jufro, and you actually gave me my favorite thing to say, which I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it since I'm Catholic. But whenever somebody is like culturally Jewish, I like to say, as my friend Jeremy says, he's Jewish.
That's right. Yeah,
and it makes me laugh.
By the way, because I'm Jewish, I have given you permission to say that, so you're in the clear.
Goodness, I also have permission to wear like Indian folk outfits, like from India, from Indian people. So I'm just ticking them off. Like I need somebody to sign a book for me somewhere so that when the cultural appropriation police arrive, I'm covered.
Yeah. I mean, by season 5 of this podcast, you'll basically have every permission you need.
That's right. I have a permit like that thing. And I can do whatever I want.
That's right.
Okay. So Jeremy, what are you here to tell? What are you so chalant about?
Well, I may have already spoiled this, but I'm so chalant. I'm so used to saying nonchalant that I almost said it. Yeah. I'm so chalant about football and the Detroit Lions.
Football and the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
Okay. So because multiple people have come to me and been like, I want to talk about something, nobody else has said football so far, but then I'm worried that somebody will say football again eventually, and I want it to be more niche now that I'm thinking about it. I asked you this earlier, and I was like, do you want to do football or do you want to, but now that I'm thinking about it, we're going to stick to the Lions, the Detroit Lions. All right. Tell me about the Detroit Lions. Do you have to say more about it? Like you're chalant about it. Say more things.
Well, They have been one of the worst sports franchises in probably all of the main American sports history. They haven't won a championship since 1957, and up until 2 years ago, they had only won a single playoff game in the previous 70 years. And so
So they're killing it.
they're killing it, but it gives them a sense of charm like no other. Everyone loves an underdog story, and I fell in love with the team basically since childhood. Like I said, I grew up in a suburb of Detroit, so they were the local team, and my dad had season tickets that our whole family went to, all four of us, and we actually were joined with another family, and so I grew to love the game and love the team in a way that I didn't really get that like high doing anything else. Being in front of a crowd of like 70,000 people in the Pontiac Silverdome back in the days when that was a thing.
Pontiac Silverdome.
Yes.
Nice.
It was infectious to hear people chant a certain person's name, to get really excited, to get really mad. I was probably young enough where I'm like, I'm still processing these emotions myself, but I like to see grown men do these sort of things too. And so let me be a part of it.
It's sort of gladiatorial, if you will.
Yes.
But like, I don't know. I always tell people that first of all, I started becoming a Detroit Lions fan directly because of you. People think
That's
it's
right.
because of John, but it's actually because of Jeremy, which annoys the crap out of John, I think, which is kind of funny. I became a Detroit Lions fan after the 2020 season. 2021, I think, was my first official season.
Perfect time to jump aboard.
John Pinacini didn't play for them that season, but I did have his jersey thanks to you.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Insert clip here if I can find it.
As of today, I am Twitch's greatest Lions fan who's not Jeremy Reisman.
But that was the season that Dan Campbell took over. So I like to tell people that I am a Dan Campbell convert rather than a bandwagon fan, because the first season they were like 16-3 or something. I don't know, 13-3.
16-3 would be a great year.
That would be a really impressive season.
The wins go first. And so they were actually 13-3, 3-13-1.
Yeah. It wasn't good is what I'm saying. It was bad.
Yes. I just wanted to make sure the audience was clear. The wins go first. 3-13-1. Yeah.
Oh.
But I would say like Dan Campbell is very much a reason why I am still as passionate of a fan as I was in day one, because he's a remarkable human being.
Yeah.
When you look at him, when you see maybe his first speech, you probably get a way different impression of who he is than who he actually is, because he looks like a meathead. He's a former NFL tight end himself. He yells, he screams, he says some goofy sounding things where you think this guy's not very smart. This guy's just, a rah like football intensity. I'm manly kind of guy, but he is actually one of the most emotionally intelligent people I've ever known, in a way that he cares about people on such a deep level. He understands pretty much where everyone is coming from in a way where you feel like that guy could get along with anybody in a crowded room. And that's made him an incredible leader for the Lions. And he's also pretty darn smart about football too. And so I do honestly find it a blessing every time I get to be in the same room with him, because he's a very, very inspirational human.
Yeah, he's very relatable, and he is smart, but not in that kind of way that makes you feel uncomfortable around him. Like I love listening to smart people talk. It's one of the reasons I like to listen to your podcast, because generally I have no idea what you're talking about. I think the wins go last or whatever. Like I don't know. I know some things, but I don't know a lot of things, and I certainly can't pull them off the top of my head the way that you guys do on the Pride of Detroit podcast. But
thank you.
Like, it's so fun to listen to people who know what they're talking about, talk about the thing that they love. But he does have that very relatable passion to him, where he's not holding back. He's not trying to be cool or smart. He would be such a fun guest on this podcast. And I would like his dog to come too. Both of them.
Couple of, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing too, is the word that comes up with him all the time is genuine. And it's very much true, where, where you're in such a public figure space, and yes, a lot of times masculinity is like the thing that's touted the most, the thing that seems to be valued the most, both by players and certainly by fans. He's just a goofball up there sometimes. Like the very first year, when the Grand Prix was in town, he started a press con with a racing helmet on. And most people will be like, who is this weirdo? Like, why are you doing this? You're embarrassing yourself. He's just like, nah, I wanted to support the city. I thought this was
having
cool.
a good time. Yeah.
And I love that. I love that sort of free spiritedness of him, and just inability to be embarrassed by himself, which is such a harder thing to have than I wish it were.
Yeah, I spent accidentally a lot of time in circles where people talk about masculinity, which is odd because I'm a girl and I definitely don't want to talk about it. So that's weird.
Yeah.
But I've noticed this like sort of theme in having been in all of those circles before, is like people who really enjoy talking about masculinity teams tend to have a somewhat affected masculinity. Like they're cosplaying, I guess, more than like guys like Dan Campbell are just being dudes. Like if you're just a dude, it's cool. Like I think if you're the kind of guy who thinks of yourself as a dude rather than a masculine guy, you tend to put off a more authentic and reasonable version of masculinity that doesn't have to be like overly PC or overly aggressive. Like it just is, and it's great.
Right. Again, it's just an authenticity thing where you're not trying. You're just doing.
I mean, I know he doesn't play for the Lions, but Travis Kelce has that same vibe.
I would agree 100%.
Yeah, he absolutely has that vibe.
So does his brother.
I know, both of them. They're great.
Yes.
Why didn't Jason bring jeans for Jason? Great question, Travis. This is a great question. All right. So we're getting a little Dan Campbell heavy. So let me move to the next question on the list of questions that I abandoned last episode, but I will not abandon always. All right. How did this passion first grab you? You already kind of said.
Yeah,
make up a different story. Say something different. I don't want to abandon the question list.
I mean, I guess with me, it was also Barry Sanders, because he's a Hall of Fame running back. If you don't know, he's like 5'6" or 5'7", which was also appealing to me as a short kid, and so I was convinced I was going to be an NFL running back at some point. So to watch him, and also like one of the, again, a rare trait for an NFL player, just very reserved. He became famous for a lot of reasons, but one of the things that made him unique was when he scored a touchdown, he would just hand the ball to the ref. No celebrating, no spiking the football, no dancing, none of that. He just,
and here you
are, sir. That's what I was supposed to do. Hope you enjoy this. I'll see you in a few hours. Like very, very, and he didn't talk a lot. My favorite story of him that endears me to him now more than ever is that he occasionally fell asleep on the sidelines just because he wanted a little nap.
That's what I love about Lando Norris. He falls asleep places.
Who's that?
It's an F1 driver.
Okay.
He's a child.
While he's driving.
I have his can right here for his
monster can
drink. Yeah.
But he doesn't sleep while he's driving, correct?
No, but he falls asleep like in the paddock all the time. There's this one clip of somebody from I don't remember who was the guy who's like, it's all too much for little Lando Norris, and he's asleep. Anyway, that's cool. Unfortunately we can't have him on the podcast because he is nonchalant, so he's not invited.
True. That's true.
All right. So what keeps you coming back? We've got a team here that loses pretty this last 3 years aside.
Yes.
What keeps you coming back to a team that consistently breaks your heart?
I think it's just that. It's like, it's the same way we're drawn to sad
masochism.
Stories. I mean, a little bit, but mostly just the highs and the lows.
Do you like IPAs too?
No, I don't. I am very nonchalant about IPAs. No, I think it's just the ups and downs. It's what's also like just very kind of crazy and interesting about football in general is that there's more off season than there is in season. And so from typically from January to September, 9 months, you are just building up hype for this team. You're just really excited about every little off-season move that they make, every single player that they sign, player that they draft, coach that they hire. Get excited, and then like 3 months, it all goes away.
It's all over, Marge. It's all over.
But there is something just kind of beautiful about that, about having a community too. Like there's so much about what we do at Pride of Detroit is about communities, about sharing this experience of, hey, maybe this is our year. Maybe this is the year that we do it. Maybe this is every single move that they're making is actually the right one. and you get feelings of it every Sunday too. You know, it's not just losing. It's sometimes you do win, sometimes you're winning in a football game, sometimes you see something miraculous, and even that will get you excited. And every inch closer they get, it's just like it gets more intoxicating. Where you're like, we were so close. I know we can do it. I know next year we're going to be that much closer.
I believe.
I mean, we got so close 2 years ago where it was literally halftime of the game before the Super Bowl and the Lions were up 2 scores. And I'm in.
Please don't talk about it.
Levi Stadium. I have to. I'm sorry.
It hurts.
It hurts, but doesn't it hurt a little good? Like I know this is coming off masochistic again, but
yes, it is.
I'm at halftime at Levi Stadium in the press box, looking at flights to Las Vegas to the Super Bowl, a place that I have never even really considered that I'd ever be there. But I was a half of football away from being there, and just that, you know, what's the Greek mythology guy? That's
Sisyphus?
like tantalizing.
Oh.
No. The tantalizing one, the one that's always out of reach.
I don't know.
Sorry, I'm not chalant about Greek mythology either.
I'm going to look it up. Sisyphus is always rolling a brick up a hill. I mean, a ball.
Isn't that Atlas, or is that just the same one? But
no, he's
Greek?
Holding the earth. Sisyphus. Oh, no. Wait, Sisyphus is chained to the mountain and getting his liver picked out. Hang on. Who's the Greek mythology guy where the end goal is always just out of reach? Come on, Chat GPT, don't let me down. Oh, that would be Tantalus.
Okay.
There you go.
I basically
sometimes people also confuse him with Sisyphus, who endlessly pushes a boulder uphill only for it to roll back up. I was right.
There we go.
Who's the other? Perseus. Wait, who gets chained to the mountain? Hold on, we're gonna ask. Which one gets chained to the mountain and gets his liver pecked out? That's Prometheus. It's Prometheus. There you go.
You just had to say it out loud.
Sorry, my brain had to get there. Somebody watching this is like, number one, this isn't about football. And number two, what? Why are you so bad at Greek mythology? Sorry.
Because I'm just this dumb jock that likes football.
Right. I am. When people describe me,
off, right?
The first thing they say is dumb jock. They're like, oh, Katie, that dumb jock. So stupid. All right. If somebody wanted to dip their toes into loving the Detroit Lions, where would they start?
That's a really tough question because, again, one thing that I love about football and the Lions in general is just like the endless well of knowledge. I feel like I'm always chasing the dragon in terms of learning more about the team, learning more about, just the game of football in general, because there's always going to be more that I need to know. So an introductory level stuff is kind of so far in my rear view mirror that I don't even know how to help. I think there are books out there, some Lions books in particular, if you're more interested in the history of the team or just the storylines. I think there's a book called like 50 Things You Need to Know About the Lions. One of my colleagues, Dave Burkett, has a book on them. Paula Pash, I should say, also has a really good book on them. Or, I mean, you could just watch a game.
So it's true.
Well, you know what? I have a better answer.
Are you going to say the thing that I'm about to say? Go ahead.
Is it Hard Knocks?
It's Hard Knocks.
Yes, it's Hard Knocks. I should have thought of it. Yes.
What's wrong with you?
Back in 2022, HBO did a documentary series. They do it every year, but they feature the Detroit Lions, where they follow the team through training camp, and you get to know the players really well. You get to know the coaches. What was unique about the Lions season is that it was mostly focused on the coaching staff because there were just so many interesting characters. Particularly Dan Campbell, the guy that we already talked about a bunch. Some of those coaches aren't still here, some of them are, but that is really, really good storytelling. NFL Films does a really good job storytelling in general, and so I believe it's on HBO Go or Max or whatever it's called these days.
It's called HBO Max. It was Max, and then it went back to being HBO Max because we all refused, which is what we need to do with Twitter.
That's right.
If you're just
When was it HBO Go? I feel like it was like 2 years ago.
Oh, I don't know. It was a while ago. It was a hot minute. Why do they keep rebranding? It's annoying to me. Yeah, Hard Knocks is the correct answer. And also, if you can get your friend to mail you a jersey under the promise that you will be a fan forever, because the whole premise of that was like, if you have to spend $150 on a t-shirt, then you have to be a fan of that team forever. And so now people started mailing me jerseys. There you go. Now I'm a New Jersey Devils fan, and I'm not sure why or how. But I only take the Lions one seriously, which is unfortunate for everybody else. Okay, last of the regular questions. What is one unexpected way that this has shaped your life or how you see the world?
Question a lot.
Don't steal it, you monster.
I mean, my job is to ask questions, so I'm definitely going to.
If you ask that question to anybody I know, you have to record it and send it to me. Like, not know personally, but you have to say, my friend Katie has this question and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess with current events happening as they currently are, I would say my worldview of just how a bunch of people from different backgrounds can actually come together and get along and work towards a common goal. Because I maintain that there's very little in terms of male diversity that you can find outside of an NFL locker room. Like, people come from all over the world, all different political viewpoints, all different social viewpoints, and they all get along, not perfectly. Of course, we all don't get along with our families perfectly, but they talk about it all the time. Like, you have made friendships for life in those locker rooms, and you can see it on their faces. You can see it every Sunday when they go put their bodies on the line for a common goal. And it's really, truly beautiful. And I know athletes tend to get bad reps, particularly NFL players, because, that it has like that gladiator feeling to it, where it's like, oh, these guys are all brawn, no brains, or, they're obviously the occasional arrests and things like that. But if you actually spent time in an NFL locker room, I think you'd realize how few and far between those examples are. And particularly with a locker room like the Lions that puts so much value on character, on the ability to work together, on cooperation, you really do see some interesting characters and people get along together. And it's cool just to be a part of that in some sort of way. Like, I'm not pretending I'm on the team or anything, but just as an observer, as a fly on the wall, it can be really motivating and really inspiring when some of the things outside of an NFL locker room don't feel as optimistic.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I like about the Lions is more than some other teams, maybe not the most of every team because I don't know that much, but I have noticed a tendency, particularly with Dan Campbell and this new breed of Lions, that they're not going to tolerate inappropriate behavior. So like Cam Sutton got the axe immediately. Like, that was the end of that. And to be fair, he did suck the entire postseason also.
He did.
Not that anyone asked me, but I was like, I knew it. You were a monster. That's fine. All right. So Detroit Lions lightning round, although it's not about Detroit. This is just Jeremy Reisman lightning round. Are you ready?
I certainly am.
Paul Reisman.
Close enough.
I just like to make it middle names. All right. What is something you are decidedly not chalant about? Meaning your pet peeve, something you don't care about at all.
Movies. I'm glad this is towards the end of the podcast.
Luke Carey.
Hey, I have this thing where I'm not that excited about fantasy at all. Like, so
Marvel movies aren't fantasy, you lunatic.
Well, they kind of are. But I'm just going to run through them all and rip the Band-Aid off here. I don't do Harry Potter. I don't do Lord of the Rings. I don't do Marvel movies. I don't really do Star Wars. I'm a little bit more interested in Star Trek, which I know makes me even more nerdy, but I'm more interested in stories grounded in a closer reality.
Jeremy's got a lot of problems with you people. He's going to tell you about them.
See, here's the thing. I'm very
Jerry
much
Stiller on right now.
I very much live by it. I try to live by this. I don't always succeed. And I don't love the phrasing itself, but I really truly don't try to yuck anybody's yum.
I hate that phrase.
I hate it too, and I wish there was a better way to say it.
Why did you say it that way?
Because I don't know how else to say it.
I don't want to crap on the stuff you like just anything else.
Ugh, I'm just saying all of that stuff is not for me. And it's in the same way that I think football is not for everybody, right? I do think they can evoke very similar emotions and tell very similar stories, but I just I don't know, there's something practical about me that it's like, you need to put this in a real life situation for me to really appreciate it.
Okay. All right. If you
I have no imagination.
It's okay. I can't imagine parts or like a hole from Parts. So when people are like, isn't this shirt cute? I'm like, what are you going to wear it with? Can I see the whole outfit? Because I can't picture this. I can't. This is why I only wear jeans and a t-shirt, because I don't have any idea what everything else looks like. Okay. If you had to be so chalant about one completely new thing tomorrow, what would it be? What's the thing you want to take up an interest in?
I I want to be a good dancer. I used to be like in ballet and a bunch of like things as a little kid, and I know I have good rhythm, but I don't know dance moves very well. And I've always gotten a little bit jealous of like the weddings where the groom and the bride like do a choreographed thing, or like the groom and all the groomsmen, or the bride and all the brideswomen.
Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids. There's the word. There's the whole movie about it.
There really is.
Yeah, I kind of want to be a little. I'd like to learn some dance moves.
I've been trying to marry Jeremy off for 7 years now, so somebody's going to need to marry him so that he can do some dancing.
I'll learn the K-pop demon hunter dances, assuming there are some in there.
The soda pop dance. I'm going to start sending them to you on. They're slowed down on Instagram. It'll be great.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of you.
My
for my birthday, will you record it and put it on Instagram?
Nope. My niece, who's like, gosh, I'm gonna get her age wrong. I think she's 12 now. She might be 13. When I was back for the holidays with my family and her, we learned the APT dance, and we were just dancing to it. Yeah,
nice.
I can't do it now, and I won't do it now. But it's just little things like that are fun.
Who is the most unexpectedly chalant person you know? Meaning, who do you know that's the most excited about things? Who's hype?
I mean, besides you, like, can you be? Did you ask this question just so I could say you?
No, nobody else has ever said me.
Really?
Well, there's only 4 episodes so far, and one of them I didn't use the questions.
No, okay. I'm going to embarrass you because I know you don't love receiving compliments, but I even sent you compliments last night or 2 nights ago before, and I'm just like, this is a perfect podcast for you because it seems to me that you have a fantastic ability to get chalant about a lot of things, whether it is Detroit Lions, right? Like, I just send you a John Pennicini jersey, and like now every time a huge bit of Lions news comes, you text me with like 5 exclamation points.
It's really
you became a runner in a year. Is that all it took? I mean, you probably became even less than that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know you're a knitter, which is something I didn't know. You're cooking.
I've knit one sweater. I don't know that one sweater a knitter makes, and I've made a hat and a sleeve for a coffee cup.
Yes, but I've always admired people who are so intellectually curious like that, and it's something that I know. I'm sorry.
Hate it.
It's something that I feel like I never had, which is why like I've been hyper fixated on football and the Detroit Lions basically my entire life.
Nice.
And it's cool that I turned that into a profession and all that, and I'm glad for all that. But I just feel like becoming a hobbyist is very hard, and so people who pick it up and do it in a hurry, I'm jealous of. It's really inspiring.
That's the goal. I want people to be excited about things. This week has been hard. We're not going to rehash what's been going on this week because this is not that kind of podcast. But like, when you have other things, you're like, for example, the Lions, like if you're hyper focused on politics and politicky things, then it's easy to like fall into despair very, very quickly. But if your like main thing you get mad about is whether or not men kick ball straight, like it's just not that deep. And like, you can get mad about it. But at the end of the day, it's like, see you next season, like it's over. And that's all that there is to it. And I think that it's so healthy to have things that you can get real emotional about how disgusting IPAs are, or whether or not that person's going to get out of your way on the stage, like those kinds of things. I think it's so healthy, and I want more people to do it. Like too many people's hobby is politics, and let's find a new one for you.
Right. Yeah. Something that you can just pick up for an hour and then drop, and it's out of your life after that.
Exactly. Get real weird about jelly beans, whatever.
That's a weird one.
This like shadow is driving me nuts. It looks like I have like a weird Hitler mustache sometimes. I'm not editing that out for the record. All right. What snack or drink fuels your chalant vibes? And we all know that it's not mozzarella cheese sticks.
That's right. I'm not that much of a snacker, but lately I've gotten into like those flat pretzel crackers.
Oh, those are good.
And there's a bunch of like little flavors of those, like Parmesan cheese.
Mm-hmm. They're good for dips.
Also, yes.
Yeah.
I'm also just a sucker for anything that's jalapeno flavored. So like jalapeno chips, jalapeno poppers, way better than mozzarella sticks.
You're like a 7th grade girl. They're all like hot Cheetos. Like
No,
they're all
see, I don't do
Takis.
no, I don't need anything that is going to leave a fluorescent color on me.
That's true. That's not the best thing about them. All right. Last question. What do you hope that people remember about you in 10 years? It's not very long. Like 10 years is actually a pretty short
That's
amount of time.
true. But who knows where I'm going to be in 10
You're almost
years.
elderly like me now.
I know. Probably the charity stuff that we do. That's really important to me. Once I figured out that I have a platform, which is not something I ever thought about having. It's not why I got into this business. I don't want to be famous or anything like that. But we started doing a Movember campaign every November where I grow a mustache that you initially hated, then grew to very much love. And we raise money for the entire month for various causes. And as someone who grew up in a very fortunate family who's been blessed with so many opportunities to try things and fail, and never really had to worry about the basic necessities in life, I felt like I was compelled to give back in some sort of way. And so we've raised, I think last year was over $50,000 for.
I was going to say, you need to say a number because I know it's a lot.
Yeah, the Rogel Cancer Center over here in the University of Michigan, kind of in memory of my dad, who I lost in 2016 to cancer. That's far more important than football. Far more important than any feature I write on any player, even if I'm telling a really good story or any good analysis or podcast that I've ever recorded. Those are the things that I hope actually make a real difference and people get inspired by, because I got inspired by other people when it came to that. Like Twitch was the first community where I realized you could do something like that. And there are so many people that are doing things like that I'm just like, this feels like an actual passion that matters. Football is a great passion for, like you said, something you can pick up. It doesn't matter in the end, but being part of a charitable outreach is something that just sticks with me and feels natural and feels good, fulfilling.
Nice.
So I guess I'm Chalant about that too.
Very chalant. And I think that it's like, I'm very proud of you, obviously. I mean, you already know that I'm very proud of you, but if everybody else watching is not aware, I'm very proud of Jeremy. I think he's a very smart kid. And if you happen to be a single woman who's watching, please DM me. And if you're willing to move to Michigan specifically, so there's that, but good guy right there, has the most ridiculous dating app story in all time. And I'm sorry, we can't go over it now.
I like that you called me kid though. Like we're essentially the same age.
We're not the same age. I could be your mother.
That's definitely not true.
Hold on. I think I have something funny in my drawer. I do.
Ooh, I think I know what it is.
I have Jeremy on a... Do you only own one shirt? Is this the same shirt?
Oh my gosh. Is that...
Jeremy.
Burgundy? Is it burgundy?
It is.
It might be the same shirt.
Jeremy, please
this is a really
buy a new
comfy
shirt. This is like 5 years old. Good gravy. Yeah. All right. If people wanted to find you, Jeremy, where could they find you? You're my first guest that I think has like socials or
that
like
I can plug
things
stuff.
To plug.
Well, prideofdetroit.com is the website where all of my content lives. We also do live podcasting on Twitch and YouTube. You can just search Pride of Detroit for that. If you want to find me on socials and yell at me about something random, at Detroit Online, or defend me against mean people, you can do that too. At Detroit Online on Twitter.
Somebody says something mean about Jeremy, I'm like, hey, no. I do that with most people. Like, just so you know, if you're my friend on Twitter and somebody says something mean to you, I'm like, excuse me? How dare you? I
don't even know how you see it sometimes, but I do appreciate it.
I think Twitter just feeds me the things when people say something mean about my friends. It's like, this person doesn't like your friend Ethan, and this person doesn't like your friend JD. And I was like, I don't care.
That's your For You page. Your For You page is...
people to
all
defend.
The things.
Listen here, bub.
Hey, if it's making you defend the people that you love, maybe it's a good For You page then.
We'll see. We will see. Anyway, thanks for being here. If you like this episode, put something in the comments and tell me what you liked about it, because maybe I will make more of it. But mostly this is a podcast that I'm doing because I think it's fun. And so I'm going to do whatever I want. But sometimes doing what you want is fun for me. So let me know what that is. Okay,